Every week on the programme, we like to shine a spotlight on good and bad advertising. This one got up our noses. It really did. It's for a pasta sauce, as you'll see. It makes absolutely no link between the product and the plot. It's frankly awful and toe-curlingly horrible.
Mom! Hey, Mom!
Parents in bed, but it's just 8 o'clock. That's why they taught you should always knock. He needs ragu, 'cause growing up's tough. Give him ragu, he's been through enough.
A long day of childhood calls for America's favorite pasta sauce.
On the other hand, the big LG electronics brand has really hit the button with this commercial. Here's where the storyline and the product attribute collide, literally, to make a fantastic and amusing ad.
Adelante.
Permiso, ¿don César?
¿Cómo está? ¿Cómo le va?
¿Cómo está?
¿Me permite sus documentos, por favor?
Sí, aquí. El currículum.
Bien. Ingeniero comercial.
Así es.
Perfecto. ¿Licencia a conducir la tiene al día?
Sí, al día.
Ya, perfecto. ¿Usted está más o menos claro cuáles son los propósitos de nuestra empresa? ¿No hay problema?
Bueno, principalmente...
¿Tuvo algún problema a llegar acá ahora?
No.
Porque estamos un poquito acá.
Madre.
Perfecto. Aquí están sus...
Cuidado.
¿Sí? Ah, perfecto.
Mire. ¡Cuidado, no!
¿Hay alguien? ¡Don César!
¡Aló!
Tell us what you think of both of those television commercials. Some quick-fire industry news for you now. Prime Media Lifestyle Marketing Services has ensured that over 800 new organ donors registered during its campaign for The Exchange, a world-first pop-up store based on the concept Give Life, Get Fashion. It was located inside the Cape Town-based Cavendish Square shopping centre. Google has surprised consumers by unveiling one of Nestlé's key brands, KitKat, as the name of its new operating system. To mark the partnership, more than 50 million specially branded KitKat bars have been made available in 19 countries right across the globe. And Wimpy, the family restaurant chain, is reminding South Africans why they love its breakfasts with a new television commercial from the agency Draft FCB here in Johannesburg, as well as Egg Films. The Own Your Day, the Wimpy Way ad was shot over 2 days at various locations and broke a little earlier this month.
All too gunsy in the office? All sharp tadada, who's it? Man, where do you come from? Okay, it's that Wimpy.
All right, finally this week, the launch of a new magazine, Forbes Women Africa, that navigates the world of business for women. The editor is Karima Brown, who's going to tell us about the concept and who, more importantly, she hopes is going to read it. Karima, welcome to you. Obviously, you saw a gap in the market. What is that gap?
Well, the gap for us is effectively that emerging middle class on the African continent, and particularly women in that gap. You know, of course, that we do have Forbes Africa, which is our sister publication, and it's doing really well, and it resonated with this middle class. But a lot of business women, women who are active in the economy, both at the top end of the table and those coming through the ranks, believe that Forbes Africa, as it stands, is a great magazine, but it's not necessarily just speaking to, the issues around the architecture of the corporate world for women.
It begs the question, are there fundamentally different issues facing women in business that mainstream financial media publications are not getting right?
I think yes, to a very large degree, Jeremy. If you look at questions around leadership, if you look at questions around flexi time and accommodating women who work and the fact that they have kids, the whole question of coaching, mentoring, those are things that women impact on in a way that is different to men. And I'm not saying better, I'm saying different and very specific and very niche.
What sort of tone are you going to set? A little earlier in the program, you did a whole thing on sunshine journalism.
Yes.
And we're not going to get into that now.
Yeah.
But are you taking by and large, a positive tone towards women and the economy on the continent, or how critical are you going to be?
Well, we have to reflect the world as we see it, and the world as we see it on the African continent is one of optimism, one of enormous growth. If you take a place like Rwanda, for example, off the back of a devastating genocide, now the poster girl for economic growth. If you look at what is happening in a place like Angola, for example, explosion beyond extractive industries, we obviously want to tap into that. A lot of promise, a lot of excitement, but we are not blind, Jeremy, to the very many challenges that we do still face on this continent, as do the globe. I mean, the resources in our world are finite. Any approach to business and commerce have to look at things like the green economy. So obviously we are going to have an approach that is informed by those realities as well.
Make the brand link for me now. Why should advertisers be engaging with this product?
Well, advertisers should be engaging in this brand because women in many households are buying the luxury goods, and especially high-end, high earners are looking for space. I've spoken to many advertisers who say that they don't want their niche brand to be crowded in with ShopRite and Checkers. Sure, it devalues their product. So they're looking for a magazine that's going to have the kind of niche value that their products have. And we believe Forbes Women Africa is exactly that vehicle.
And finally, price and launch date?
40 Rand, 1st of October, we're launching, we're hitting the stands. Whether you're sitting in Abuja, whether you're sitting in Lagos, whether you're sitting in Nairobi or in Sandton, you'll be able to go and get the magazine.
Karima Brown, good luck to you. I hope it goes well. And that's
Thank
this
you.
week's program. Next week on Mags on Media, everything you need to know from this year's Cape Town Creative Week, including the top Pendurang and Lurie's winners. Thank you for watching and goodbye.
News that moves. ENCA.com.